So imagine you're in class and the teacher asks a question and you're 90% sure that you know the answer, but yet you don't raise your hand because you're afraid of what the other kids will think of you if you get the question wrong. If this sounds like you, then you need to watch this video all the way through to the end, because today I'm gonna give you 4 strategies you can use right now to stop caring what people think about you. What's going on, guys? It's Maverick here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having an awesome day so far. Here on this channel, we talk about everything self-improvement, men's lifestyle, fitness, fashion, girls, you name it, we talk about it. So if that sounds good to you, please consider subscribing and turning those post notifications on. And I really appreciate it if you follow me on Instagram as well at BrettMVRK. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So if this sounds like you, then you're not alone. This is actually really common. We tend to back down in certain situations because we're afraid of what people will think or say about us. And it's totally natural. We often obsess over the worst case scenarios and assume that what can go wrong will. And the outcome seems terrifying even if it's not scary at all. So why do people think this way? Well, it comes down to this thing called a cognitive distortion. This is a biased or irrational way of thinking that creates doubts, anxieties, and fears based on assumptions and misinformation. For example, if you go up to a girl and you ask her for her number and she says no, you might assume that she said no because she thinks you're gross and lame, when in fact she may have just said no because she has a boyfriend or was having a really bad day. But unfortunately, your brain is stuck in this negative pattern. Your brain is trying to protect you from the worst case scenario, and it can actually end up controlling your life. So here are 4 strategies that you can start using right now to help you stop caring what other people think. The first one is to question potential consequences. So when you go into a situation, ask, what is the worst thing that can happen? You see, your brain likes to make these emotional or irrational choices that sometimes aren't even that bad at all, or they just don't even make sense. Let's take, for instance, rejection. You could simply just walk away and not talk to them ever again. Or maybe you're afraid of public speaking, you're afraid of messing up. If you do mess up, what can you do? You can simply correct yourself and keep moving forward, and it's likely that no one will even notice. So it can be extremely helpful to just take a breath, drop the emotion, and think about the situation logically. When you see a situation without the lens of emotion, then you see them clearly and you can make the right decision. Next thing you can do is strive to fit your values. Living your life based on what other people think of you is a recipe for an unhappy life. So what I'm asking you to do is simply decide what is important to you, what you value, and the person that you want to be, and then make sure that everything that you do is in alignment with becoming that person. When you put boundaries on yourself of what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, it makes it easy to try and do the right thing. And when you're at least trying to do the right thing, you can't go wrong. The third thing you can do is flip the situation. People often feel like they are the center of attention, whether they really are or not. They like to create this imaginary audience. So let's imagine you have to give a speech in front of a bunch of people. You might assume that everybody wants you to fail and is judging you negatively. So to flip the situation, simply imagine that you are in their shoes. You're watching them give a speech. Do you want them to fail? Do you want them to mess up? No, because we want people to win. We want them to give a good speech. No one wants to sit there and watch a really cringy speech and for everybody to feel awkward. Most people are gonna want you to give a really good speech unless you have pissed them off in the past or something. What most people don't realize is that everyone else has their fair share of fears and insecurities as well, so they're not gonna want you to fail. And even if you do mess up in front of them, they'll probably forget about it within like 10 to 20 seconds. And the last thing that you can do is pretty simple, and it's understanding insults. You can do absolutely everything right, but people judging you and every once in a while insulting you is pretty much inevitable. It's gonna happen, especially here online. I see that in the comments all the time. But what you need to understand is that a lot of the time, this is a projection. People are unhappy, so they're trying to push their unhappiness on you. It's more a reflection on themselves. Would a person that's truly happy with their lives and has a lot going on be wasting their time commenting negative things on YouTube videos? I don't think so. So it can be extremely useful to learn to not take it personally when people insult you when they're just trying to make you upset. But it's also a skill worth learning to know who is actually trying to help you with constructive criticism. Because there actually are people out there that are gonna do it for positive reasons and try to build you up and make you better by pointing out things that you could have done, that you might have done wrong or could do better. But ultimately, just be true to yourself, try to do the right thing, and make decisions based off of love, not fear, and you have nothing to worry about. So that's gonna do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and until next time, peace.